Hey guys, welcome back to A Day in the Life. I am Day Hayes in the flesh. If you are new to the space, I want to say welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. I am Day Hayes, a lifestyle engineer who loves to focus on all things reverse engineering our vision and revolutionizing our lives. If you guys have been with me from the beginning, from my journey on VH1 up until now, which has only been about 6 or 7 months, I cannot even believe it. You guys know that I have been extremely intentional about sharing my story, and not just sharing it for the sake of sharing it, but sharing it so that I can be a guide and inspiration and be transparent and vulnerable. Over here in my little part of the internet, I love to do a thing called day by day journal reads. And that's what we're going to get into today. It's where I actually share my transparent truths with you. We get down to the nitty gritty about who I had to become in order for me to receive all of the blessings that I've been able to be blessed with. And today we're focusing on approval and validation. I'm not even on front, y'all. I am a people pleaser, and that is something that God has been working on and in me for a very long time. Seeking validation, being a perfectionist, and wanting to really just be able to show others that I'm doing great has been something that I've struggled with. And so in our 100 Days of Believing Bigger by Marshawn Evans devotional journal, she has a section on here titled Purpose with the subtext of Authorized to Impact. As always, let's get into the scripture. They were completely amazed at his teaching because he was teaching them as one having God-given authority and not as the scribes. Mark 1:22, and this is from the Amplified Version. So this scripture and this devotional really spoke to me because it deals with something that we all like, which is structure, strategy, and protocol. And sometimes we put protocol before purpose. And that means that you don't actually leave room for God to do his thing. Go ahead and raise your hand, write in the chat if you know that you have sometimes been like, all right, but 1 + 1 should equal 2. And 2 times 2 should equals 4. And if A plus B equals this, then what is this? Honestly, I've been there before where things just don't seem to add up. But that's because I didn't really understand the nature of God's character. God does not add things up. He multiplies and he evolves them over time. And I needed to learn to leave room for him to move and not be so focused on a protocol. That is very challenging for a type A Enneagram 1 individual as myself. Someone who, strives on processes, systems, and structure. Just letting go and letting God is something that I've really worked towards every day. Just like recognizing, like, okay, that thing is out of my control, but what can I be focused on right now within myself to develop what it is that needs to be developed? So, for example, I get many questions about how I got a series or a section on VH1, and really and truly, I don't tell people like, oh, I followed the protocol of having a YouTube channel and doing this and doing that. And maybe I'll do a video on that. Y'all let me know if you want me to talk about that more. But what I was doing was that I was found faithful doing what God was telling me to do, which was sharing my testimony and my story of overcoming miscarriage and overcoming a loss. And like in me being faithful doing what he told me to do, like purpose found me. And so it's funny because I remember my experience on VH1, and I remember one of the planners asking me, was I like a YouTube guru? And I was like, no, not at all. I'm a regular, degular, schmegular person, you know, who just lives this average life. But it's so amazing how like God can position you when you're not so focused on protocol and you're not focused on the validation of others. So let's go ahead and get into this reflection because I have said a lot, but now I gotta share with you all how I processed this scripture. The question that Marshawn Evans gives us is, have you been waiting for someone to approve how you do what you believe God is calling you to do? What would it look like for you to give yourself permission to pursue that calling regardless of qualification or custom? We're talking about permission, validation, approval, and this was my response. Yes, many times my fear of others' perceptions of what I want to do hinder me from progressing forward on things I feel strongly about. Also, imposter syndrome makes me believe that my experiences don't qualify me as much as another person who may be an expert. And I imagine how I could eventually help heal others. If I were to give myself permission and not seek validation of others, I would freely speak my mind, put myself first, reach out to large brands for partnerships, have multiple streams of income, and I would be bold, confident, and connected like I know I have been before. But this time being my connection to Christ and not my own qualifications. Y'all, we gotta unpack this because I need y'all to remember these are journal reflections, which means that I've responded to this stuff in the past, and so now I'm on the other side of these manifestations, of these prayers and these reflections. I no longer seek validation or permission. That's why I let Instagram go, because I was in a cycle of seeking validation and focus on a protocol and a process that the world put on me. Since this was one of the reasons why I felt like I was able to step into an opportunity on a large television network, having never been on television myself. Also, not to admit, my speaking boldly and confidently and sharing what I share. I don't have a background in psychology, but I have a background in my own personal experiences and my experiences in connection to Christ, which qualify me to do what I do now, which is lifestyle engineering. I have 2 degrees. I want to be really clear. I have 2 degrees from 2 prestigious universities, both Spelman College, let me correct myself, Spelman College, as well as Columbia University. Your girl can work. Your girl has been validated, qualified in multiple areas, technology, political science. I could write you a paper, a book on any of those things. But even in me doing all of that, I was seeking validation and approval from others for what I should or what I thought I should be doing. While in this season of my life, I'm able to believe bigger, bolder, and crazier because it's no longer about my own qualifications. And so therefore, I'm not seeking validation because the burden isn't on me. I'm like, okay, God, this is your plan. You do your thing and you got it. Tell me what to do or it's not going to get done. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed a day in the life. Really quick announcement. I'm going to be throwing a vision party. It's happening in December. I want you to go ahead and get on the waiting list so that you can go ahead and secure your spot. I'm doing a small group because I want to help you guys reverse engineer your vision and revolutionize your life. Until next time, bye.